Okay, hi everyone. So today we're going to be looking at the Temerloh paper, and just like the Batu Pahat paper last week, I'm going to focus on certain questions that are I think interesting, or they are hot questions and how we approach the hot questions lah. Okay, but generally, in the Temerloh paper, the paper is actually quite basic. They ask a lot of basic stuff. There's one or two questions that a little bit high level lah. Okay, but compared to last week's Batu Pahat paper, the Temerloh paper, as I said before, is actually a lot easier. Okay, so when I was looking through the questions, I realized that actually there's not that many difficult questions there lah. But still, we'll look through it lah. Okay, just in case we have some this one. Okay, so the first one I want to cover is this question number 2. Okay, so you have the diagram 2 below, shows the line xy against x is drawn. Determine the non-linear equation. Okay, so the important thing is we have to determine the non-linear equation. I'm going to change color. So if you remember in linear law, okay, if you have a straight line, you can always determine the linear equation. Okay, first you calculate the gradient. So the gradient is 9 minus 6 over 3 minus 0. Okay, and you will get 1. Right? And then after that, since this is the y-intercept, okay, therefore the y-intercept is positive 6. Therefore, the equation of the straight line, okay, equation of the straight line, kalau kita ikut this graph, okay, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So the linear equation, okay, the linear equation will be x over y equals to 1x plus 6. Okay, 1 because 1 is the gradient, x because it's the x-axis, and then 6 because it's the 6 lah. The y-axis is x over y. But this is the linear equation. Okay, and if you have the marking scheme, the marking scheme is actually wrong. Okay, because it says determine the non-linear equation, which means that you either want x equals to yada 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 or y equals to yada yada. This is our final answer. Okay. Now the easiest way to do this is to switch over x plus 6 and y. Okay, and you will get x over x plus 6 equals to y. Okay, this will be one answer, one acceptable answer for non-linear equation. Okay, but what if I want to use x? Saya tidak mau juga y, saya mau x. So I'm not very mainstream. Okay, fine. If you want x, then this is how you would do it lah. So x over y equals to x plus 6 is the linear equation. Sorry, this is the non-linear equation. Okay, non-linear is this. This is one form of non-linear. That's why it's only 2 marks. It's very simple to do. But let's say you want x, you don't want y. So what I would do is I'll bring the y up. So x equals to xy plus 6y. Okay, then I bring the x together. So x minus xy equals to 6y. Factorize out the x, I'll get 1 minus y equals to 6y. And then finally I get x equals to 6y over 1 minus y. This one is also a non-linear equation, but it is much longer lah. Okay, it is much longer. Now, when I was doing this with both the classes, S2 and AC, I realized that actually this is one step only. All you have to do is just bring this down and bring the y up. And then you get y equals to yada, yada, yada. Okay, so look for this kind of simple, this one. I noticed that when people were doing this, they did this. Dia kasih naik itu y, then kasih darab. Then lepas tu, alamak, macam mana. Okay, then they forget that you actually factorize. Okay, so this is not a difficult question. It's just that if you have the marking scheme with you, I want to say that the marking scheme is wrong. Okay, because the marking scheme gives you this answer, right? X over y equals to 1x plus 6, which is wrong because that's the linear equation. Question very clearly says non-linear equation. Okay, so which I also want to say lah, that sometimes you may have the marking scheme, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the marking scheme is entirely correct. Okay, because sometimes people will post up the marking scheme, but actually it hasn't been corrected. Okay, so there'll be a lot of people looking at the uncorrected version, which is where, which is where people like me come in. Okay, I come in and tell you, oh, okay, guys, come on, use your brains. Okay, don't just follow the marking scheme blindly just because it's the marking scheme. Maka semuanya itu betul. Okay, not necessarily true. Okay, even question setters are humans. All right, the next question that I want to cover, let me see if I can find the question. Okay, is this one, question number 6. Oh, no, question number 7. Okay, question number 7 is pretty interesting. It's not difficult also, but quite a lot of people have asked me to answer this question, so I will answer this now. So you're given that m equals to 5 to the power of x and n equals to 5 to the power of y. Then you're asked to express this 25x plus y over 125 x minus y. Now, whenever I see something like this, what I like to do is I like to split it up. Okay, I like to take the top and then the bottom and then nanti saya gabung balik. Okay, so let me do the top first. Okay, I'm going to change color again. So the top is this, 25x plus y. Now, if I want to have base 5, okay, 25 is 5 to the power of 2. So 5 to the power of 2 x plus y. Yeah, okay. And then we find that over here, I can still split it, 5 to the power of 2x times 5 to the power of 2y. I can split up the plus to become times again. Okay, now take a look at this. Kalau 5 to the power of x equals to m, what about 5 to the power of 2x? Will be equal to m squared. Okay, because kalau saya square ini kan, it will become m squared. Okay, so this will mean that this will be m squared times this will be n squared, because 5 to the power of y is n. So 5 to the power of 2y will be n squared. Okay, so that's the top part. The top part, bila saya simplify, it become m squared times n squared. And then when I do the bottom part, which is this, okay, when I do the bottom part, which is this, I'll get 125x minus y. Same thing. 125 base 5 will be 5 to the power of 3. 5 to the power of 3 x minus y. I'll get 5 to the power of 3x divided by 5 to the power of 3y. Okay? All right. Then, since 5 to the power of x is m, so 5 to the power of 3x will be m cubed lah. M cubed divided by n cubed. Now, when I bring the two of them together, okay, I bring this one on top and then the blue at the bottom. Okay, so I'll get m squared n squared over m cubed divided by n cubed. Okay. Now, let me change this into easier because you have a per and then you have another divide. So it's okay, so I'm going to change the per into divide. So m squared n squared divided by m cubed over n cubed. Now, because you're doing divide and another bahagi, so it will be m squared n squared times n cubed over m cubed. Okay, and this will make things much easier. So this will give us 2 and then minus 3. So this will be over m to the power of 1. Okay, n squared n3 will be n to the power of 5. So this is our final answer. Okay, n to the power of 5 over m. N to the power of 5 over m. Yeah, okay, n to the power of 5 over. Sorry, this looks, sorry, this m to the power of 1. Well, I'm just going to write m. All right, so that's how you would answer question number 7. So actually question number 7, the reason why I want to highlight this question is because actually it's not that difficult. It's just that having this per, okay, is very complicated. So you make things simpler by taking the top settle the top first, and then do the bottom, settle the bottom, and then only you do this. Okay, now this whole thing, okay, is actually Form 3 stuff lah. Okay, these are things that you should have covered in Form 3, and you should be already quite good in it. So there's not really that much marks there lah. If any pemecahan markah, okay, this is 1 mark, this is 1 mark. Putting it together is another mark, and then the last one is 1 mark. Okay, usually that's how they will divide the marks. Okay. All right. Next question. Yeah, this is also another question that is very popularly asked. Okay, and you know what, I'm going to try to do this. So, vector AB has magnitude of 10 and is parallel to 1, 3. Okay, given that B is more than 0, find the value of A and of B lah. Okay, so first things first, guys, this is not coordinate. Okay, this is vector notation. If I were to write it in I and J, this would be AI plus BJ. Okay, this would be 1I plus 3J. Okay, this is how we will write it. But since I'm going to use the bracket, I'm going to stick with the bracket because the bracket actually is much easier. Second thing is, they're telling you that it's parallel. Whenever you see two vectors that are parallel, always remember that AB equals to K13. There's always a connecting huruf. Okay, K13. Usually they use the letter K lah. Sometimes they use H. Sometimes they use another letter. But usually we use K or J. No. K. Okay, K or H lah. Usually it's H or K. So if that were to be the case, I can say that A equals to 1K. Kalau saya hubungkan ini, and when I compare this, B equals to 3K. Okay. Kalau saya hubung, if I do the comparison from left to right now, A equals to 1K, B equals to 3K. Okay, now let's stop there for a while. Now, second thing is, magnitude is 10. Okay, now if you have magnitude, okay, remember that magnitude is actually using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, the same way you use Pythagoras theorem to count is the same way. But the one that has the magnitude is not the 1, 3 vector. It is the AB vector. Therefore, I can say that A squared plus B squared equals to 10 squared. Okay, Pythagoras theorem. We count magnitude by using Pythagoras theorem. They've already given the magnitude, which is 10. Okay, so think of it this way lah. Okay, so this is A, this is B, and this is 10. So what is the equation that connects all these three together? It will be Pythagoras theorem, A squared plus B squared equals to 10 squared. Now the reason why I'm doing this is so that I can either get rid of the A and find B first, or I get rid of the B and find A. How do I get rid of the A and B? That's why we have these three, the K over here. Okay, now let me change this. K equals to, if I use this, K equals to B over 3. Correct? Then I substitute the K into this one. If A equals to 1K, therefore A equals to 1 times B over 3. Therefore, B mesti sama dengan 3A. And the reason why I want to do that is so that I can substitute the B in here and I can, I can get the A. So A squared plus 3A squared equals to 10 squared. Okay, so over here you get A squared plus 9A squared equals to 10 squared. I'm going to leave the square first. Okay, and so this will give me 9, sorry, not 9. This will give me 10. A squared equals to 100. 100 lah. Okay, so A squared equals to 100 over 10. Therefore, A equals to square root of 10. Okay, once I get the square root of 10, okay, I can substitute it into this original first equation, A squared plus B squared equals to 10 squared, and I will be able to get B squared. Okay, or I can put this even here. Once I get this A equals to this one, I can put it even here. So B equals to 3 times square root of 10. Okay, leave the answer like this. No need to be point. I don't have to be 3 point. Don't know what. Okay, just 3 root of 10 is fine. Okay, so this is an interesting question because it tests you on two basic things. Number one is whether you understand what is the meaning of parallel. Okay, and secondly, whether you know how to count magnitude. Yang selebihnya sebenarnya adalah persamaan serentak lah. Okay, actually it's a little bit of persamaan serentak. But this question is interesting is because saya jarang jumpa soalan macam ni. Okay, I think I don't see this question very often lah. Okay, usually it's very simple comparison one. You compare one time and you know. But this one is you have to compare and then only you substitute into the magnitude. So it's interesting lah. It's a good question actually. Okay, good for you to practice also. All right, next question. Let me see. Oh yes, okay, this question. This question I want to answer. So table 1 shows a cumulative frequency distribution for 30 students, okay, in a mathematics test. Now, this is a cumulative frequency, which means that you will have to construct another table which has the frequency itself. Okay, any cumulative. So, less than 10 will be 0 to 9. This will be 10 to 19. This will be 20 to 29. This will be 30 to 39, 40 to 49. Okay, but it's the cumulative frequency. What about the frequency? 0 to 9 is 5. Okay, then 10 to 19, if 0 to 19 is 9, and 0 to 9 is only 5 people, then 10 to 19 will be 4 people. Okay, it will be 4 people. Hold on. Okay, so then after that, 21 minus 9 will be, my brain is not working today. 21 minus 9 is 12, maybe, yeah. 12 plus 9, 21. Okay, fine, yeah, 12. So 28 minus 21 will be 7, and then the last one will be 2. So every group, 0 to 9 marks is 5 people, 10 to 19 marks is 4 people, 20 to 29 is 12, 30 to 39 is 7, 40 to 49 is 2. Okay, if I'm making a mistake, please let me know. Okay, because today is a Monday and somehow my brains don't work on Monday. Okay, but yeah, somehow about class to go on Monday. Okay, so why is this important? Okay, I noticed that a lot of cumulative frequency questions, they have this thing. They will give you the cumulative frequency, and usually we have to construct the frequency table. Okay, kita mesti buat jadual kekerapan biasa. Okay, in order for us to answer the question. So make it a habit lah. The moment you see a cumulative frequency, bila kamu nampak kekerapan longgokan punya jadual, terus kau buat kekerapan punya dahulu. Okay, kasih minus. Okay, very simple. How to get this value of 4? Okay, how to get this value of 4 is 9 minus 5. How to get this value of 12 is 21 minus 9. Just minus the number before it. Then you get that particular number. Sorry. 28 minus 21, 7. 30 minus 2. Okay, so it's actually not that difficult. All right, so the question is, Mr. Hanif, okay, the subject teacher, intends to give a reward to the top 15 students. Okay, top 15 students. Now, those students who achieve the minimum mark in the top 15 placing will be considered to receive the reward. And then they give you the situation, Eric obtains 24 marks. So we want to know whether Eric is in the top 15 or in the bottom 15, because everybody is 30. Okay, now look at these two numbers now, 15 and 30. Okay, now if everyone together is 30, the top 15 student or the 15th person, okay, the 15th person is actually 15 person, okay, is actually the median. Okay, is actually the median. So you have to first count the median. Once you count the median, and then you find out whether Eric is in, whether Eric, if Eric's marks is less than the median, Okay, if Eric's marks is less than the median, then he will be able to get it now. Okay, no, if Eric's marks is less than the median, then he won't be able to get it because he's not in the top 15. But if Eric's marks is more than the median, okay, then he will be able to get the top 15 prize because he's, so we want to know whether 24 is less than the 15% or more than the 15, or whether it's chun the 15%. We don't know. Okay, so let's determine this. So the 15th person, okay, is in this group. This is the median class. Okay, orang yang ke-15. Because this is orang ke-5, orang ke-9, orang ke-21. So that means the 15th person is in this median class, which is 20 to 29, the number 12, and this number 21 and 9. Very important. So formula for median, okay, is lower boundary. Okay, lower boundary plus 1 over 2n minus cumulative frequency sebelum class median over frequency of median class. Okay, times C. Sorry, this is a little bit. Okay, so the lower boundary, is, since this is 20, the lower boundary will be 19.5. Okay, 19.5 plus 1 over 2 times 30, okay, minus the cumulative frequency sebelum, okay, which is 9. Okay, cumulative frequency sebelum, which is 9. So we're going to put it over in, okay, over, then the frequency of the median class. Frequency of the median class is 12. Okay, 12 times the size of the class, 20 to 29 is 10. 10 places, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So 10. And what you will get after you calculate everything is you will get the answer 20, I think it's 24.5. Okay, the answer is, so the median is 24.5. But the problem is Eric only obtains 24 marks. Means the 15th person actually got 24.5. Then that means Eric is number 16. So the question is, does Eric qualify to be considered? No. Okay, because his mark is less than the median. That's it. Okay. So let's say let's say you look at this question and you're like, macam mana saya mau jawab ni, saya tidak pandai. Okay, but actually if you read the question, does Eric qualify to be considered to receive the reward? The reward lah. Okay. Now, the good thing about this is, if you don't know how to do this one, all you have to do is try to answer either yes or no. Tembak. Okay, tembak and mana tahu kamu kenal. At least you get 1 mark just for answering yes or no. Okay, and if the examiner is kind enough, actually you may even get 3 marks, although I doubt it lah. Okay, so answer yes or no, even if you don't know what your reason is. Okay, but if you think that you know, then you just keep trying. But this is actually a good question. It is a median question. Okay, we find that a lot of statistics questions kan nowadays dia banyak tanya pasal median. Okay, so tolong berhati-hati. All right, next question is this. This is also very interesting. So diagram 4 shows a conical container, okay, of a diameter 0.8 and height of 0.6. So you have the original diameter 0.8 and 0.6. Obviously, when you add water, the diameter will be less lah. Okay, dia punya diameter akan berubah. Now, water is poured into a container at a constant rate of pm cubed and s negative 1. Now, m cubed is volume. Okay, s is time. Okay, saat plus saat. Okay, seconds is time. That means this P is actually equals to dV dt. Okay, this is a differentiation question. All right. So calculate the value of P, which means calculate dV dt. Okay, given that the rate of change of height. Okay, rate of change of height. Sorry, I'm going to change color with this. Rate of change of height, okay, this is actually dH dt. Okay, dH dt is 0.1 meters per second. Okay, now they will give you a h value lah. Okay, h equals to 0.27 for certain reasons lah, which we will let you know. Okay, so let's think about this. You want to calculate dv dt, you have dh dt. Okay, now if you remember, okay, if you remember the chain rule, yang kamu mau cari adalah dv dt. Dan ada 3 huruf. The hurufs are V, T, and H. So that means if I were to do this in the chain rule, this will be dV dH times dH dt. Okay, chain rule. Because the 3 letters are VHT only. Okay, but the problem is, our question now ada lagi R di sini tau. So annoying, the stupid R. Okay, but slowly, slowly. Let's stick to this first. And we know that the value of dH dt, okay, the value of dH dt is actually 0.1. So this one settled sudah. Our problem now is we want to find the value of dV dH when the height is 0.27. So there's a reason why they give this height 0.27. Okay. Now, normally what we would do is, if we want to find dV dH, because we want to find dV dH, we can. So if you want to find dV dH, then the volume here got h lah. Okay, so we can use this one. V equals to 1/3 r pi r squared h. But the problem is you have this r. Okay, you have r and you have h. Dua is unknown. Hold on. I think somebody is calling me, but okay, so you have this r that is unknown, so which is the annoying thing lah. Okay, so how do you get rid of the r? You need to get rid of the r. You can't just use the r and the h together because kamu ada dua formula. Cannot. You must have everything in h. Okay, so how do we do that? Now notice this lah. Okay, that the height and the diameter is always proportional. Okay, so this height and this diameter, I mean, sorry, the radius, sorry, the r, okay, is always proportional. Okay, now let's say I call this r and I call this h. Okay, the new r, new h. So r over h equals to 0.4 over 0.6. R over h equals to 0.4 over 0.6. Can you see that? Okay, this radius, this diameter is 0.8, right? So that means the radius over here, this will be 0.4 lah. Okay, and since the water is being filled out, so makin kamu naik pada cone itu kan, then you will see that the ratio of the radius and the height now is always the same ratio. So this ratio of r to h must be the same as 0.4 to 0.6. Ratio is the same. Therefore, I can say that r equals to 0.4 divided by 0.6 is 2/3h. Okay, and this is a very important relationship, because if r equals to 2/3h, I can substitute the r over here. I will get 1/3 pi 2/3h squared h. Okay, then everything will be h. There's no more r. Then if I do that, I can differentiate with v, because there's only 2 variables. Hanya ada 2 pun boleh ubah, v dan h. The r is gone. Okay, so let me simplify this now. 1/3 pi 4/9h squared times h. Okay, 2 squared, 3 squared is 4/9, h squared h. So, sorry, 4/27 pi, okay, h cubed. This is v. So therefore, dv dh, okay, equals to, I bring the 3 across, 3 4/27 pi h squared. Okay, this will give me 1, this will give me 9. So I'll get dVdh equals to 4 over 9 pi h squared. Okay. Now, I said earlier on that I want the value of dVdh. Ini mesti value, ini mesti value. dH dt kita ada sudah. So how do I find the value of dVdh? Okay, that's why they give this value, 0.27. So 4 over 9 pi 0.27 squared is the value of dVdh. And you should get, sorry, oh, sorry, this is so annoying. Okay, so that means I have to calculate using, okay, so 4 over 9 times 0.27 squared. Okay, I will get about 0.0324 pi. I'll leave my answer in pi lah. Okay, saya tinggalkan jawapan dalam pi, and I also think that they will give answer. So therefore, okay, coming back to our original this one, dVdt equals to dVdh times dHdt. So dVdh is 0.0324. So dVdt is 0.0324 pi times 0.1. 0.1 awal-awal sudah dibagi. Okay, so if I multiply by 0.1, I will get 0.00324 pi. This will be my final answer. Okay, 0.00324 pi, or if you want to multiply the pi itself, so can now. Okay, you will get 0.0102. Okay, either one of these answers is acceptable. Now, this is a particularly difficult question kalau kamu tidak biasa buat. Okay, if you're very used to doing differentiation questions, you will know the steps lah. Okay, the step is always like that one. First of all, you form the chain rule. Okay, form this chain rule and then substitute whatever values there are. Usually, there's always one given value. Dia mesti bagi satu sedia. Dan satu yang kamu kena cari. Okay. Then after that, use the formula for the volume of the cone, okay, to find the other differentiation value. Then kau kasih darab. Okay. For those of you, if you want to know more, this subtopic is called rate of change. Okay, kadar perubahan. If you want to be better at these questions, go and look for this subtopic lah. Okay, rate of change under chapter 9. Under question 9. Form 4. Okay, chapter 9, form 4. Okay, differentiation, rate of change. It's dia bukan susah lah. Okay, it's not particularly difficult. It's just that there are very, very many steps lah. Okay, banyak betul langkah ni just to get this form. Okay, that's a good question. All right. I think that's the last one for paper. Oh no, ada lagi. Okay. So, you're given that sine theta equals to Q, okay, where Q is a constant and theta is in the second quadrant. This is a very important piece of information. Second quadrant, all science teachers crazy. Okay, apa ini? Sorry. Only sine is positive. Only sine is positive. Okay, second quadrant, very important information. That's why they're giving this. So, whenever you're given this, okay, always form the triangle. So this is theta. Okay. Since it is sine theta equals to Q, saya boleh cakap sine theta equals to Q over 1. Now, kalau kamu ingat, SOHCAHTOA, okay, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So, saya boleh cakap bahawa opposite is Q and the hypotenuse is 1. Therefore, using Pythagoras theorem, I can get this as square root of 1 minus Q squared. Okay, yeah, I'm skipping a lot of steps, but I'm just showing you that, oh, okay, I can use Pythagoras theorem to find out this side. Now, cosecant theta, okay, cosecant theta is equals to 1 over sine theta. Okay. Now, 1 over sine theta is pretty easy lah. 1 over sine theta, since sine theta is Q, so cosecant theta be 1 over Q. Done. Okay. Our problem is this, sine 2 theta. So, Sine 2 theta, according to the formula, is 2 sine theta cos theta. So sine theta, no problem. Okay, so 2 times q. It's absolutely. Now, cos theta is a big problem because, number one, in the second quadrant, cos is negative. So your answer must be negative. According to this triangle, cos is sebelah over hypotenuse, which is 1 minus q squared over 1. Apa ini? Sorry. Okay, this should be 1 minus q squared square root over 1. Must be negative because cos is negative. So, if I were to simplify this, the whole answer would be minus 2q square root of 1 minus q squared. That's the answer. That should be the answer. Yeah, minus 2q times 1 minus q squared. Okay. And how did I get this? There's no mumble, there's no like magic formula. Okay, what I did was I used the original equation and I came up with the triangle. Once you're given this one gun, you're given the hypotenuse or the this one gun, you can actually form any equation. Any triangle. Okay, say for example, let's say cos theta equals to 1 over x. Contoh lah. Okay, that means if I were to draw a triangle, here is theta. Where is my 1? My 1 is here. Where is my x? My x is here. Therefore, I can form this height, which is x squared minus 1 square root. Okay, hypotenuse. Pythagoras theorem. Okay, x squared minus, x squared minus 1 square root. Okay, so always use this, the right angle triangle to form the this one because you can find a lot of value. Just with this, I can get sine theta, cos theta, tangent theta, secant theta, cosecant theta, cotangent theta. Okay. Just from this one piece of information, I can form all 6 identities. Okay, I think I have taught this to my students. Okay, especially those in the S2. So you should know this. I'm not sure about the other classes whether Cikgu He or Cikgu Lim has taught you this, but it's always a good practice. Okay, the moment you see a relationship, sine, cos, tangent, okay, form the triangle first. Because once you have the triangle, you have 6 information. It's dalam tangan sudah. Okay, but of course you have to know how to count Pythagoras theorem. Okay, that's the important one. All right. I keep thinking that, oh yeah, okay, this one must answer. This is a very interesting question. Okay, so diagram 6 shows a circle-shaped dartboard with a common center. So the center is the same center. Okay, the bigger circle has a radius of 4x. So that means ini semua adalah 4x. The smaller circle has a radius of x. Now, logically, you will know that this section yang tiada ini over here is to be 3x lah. Okay, that's very logical. Now, assume that when a dart is thrown, it will hit either the bigger circle or the smaller circle. That means they either kena the small circle or they will kena the big circle. There is no like ngam-ngam on the line lah, which is like, like halfway here. It's neither here nor there, no lah. Okay, so what is the probability that when Ahmad throws a dart, the dart will hit the region within the smaller circle? Okay, so whenever you see the words region and all this kind, you kind of want to know what is the area lah. Okay, so the area of the small circle, okay, area is pi x squared. Okay, the area of the bigger circle, okay, bigger circle is pi 4x the whole thing squared, so which is 16 pi x squared. Okay, so the you know what? Let me just check something. Yeah. Okay, so that means the probability lah, kalau dia terkena dalam bulatan yang kecil, that means we want this area over the entire area. Okay, that means the probability, Okay, the probability is pi x squared over 16 pi x squared. Okay, the smaller area over the bigger area. Okay, therefore, the probability will be, oh dear, hilang sudah saya punya pen once again. Hold on. Okay, this is a good time to take a break. Hold on, let me. Okay, so to simplify this, what we just need to do is we just cut everything out lah. Cut, so you get the answer 1 over 16. Okay, that's our probability that you will hit the region within the smaller circle. Now, Ahmad is not satisfied with the probability. So how should he increase the probability of hitting in the shaded area? Okay, justify your answer. So this is 1 mark, this is 1 mark, so it's 2 marks again. So obviously this question is 2 marks question. 2 marks question because you need to give a method and a reason. Because dia minta kamu justify your answer, jelaskan jawapan anda. Mesti kamu ada penjelasan. So what is the method? Okay, what is the method to increase his probability? You either make the smaller circle bigger, or you make the bigger circle smaller lah. Okay, so I would say that the best answer lah for this would be to increase the radius of the smaller circle. Okay, that will be how I want to say it. Okay, to increase the radius of the smaller circle, and then the reason will be to increase the probability, okay, of hitting the shaded area, which is actually the same thing as this question, probability of hitting the shaded area. Okay. But as long as you can give me a correct method and a justifiable reason, that means the reason makes sense, then you layak 2 markah lah. Okay, so cannot. Don't think it's impossible. Okay, and even if you don't know how to answer question A, take a look at this question. You don't know how to answer question A, it doesn't affect question B though, because question B is very logical. Ahmad is not satisfied. Now, how should he increase the probability? Just make the smaller circle bigger. Okay, so when you read questions like this, don't give up. Jangan macam terus kau punya otak hilang. This is very logical. Kalau kamu mau meningkatkan kebarangkalian kamu mengena the shaded region, make the shaded region bigger lah. It's very logical. So don't waste the chance to get marks from this kind of question. Okay, because we find that SPM sometimes they will ask this kind of questions yang macam logic punya soalan lah, tidak payah maths pun boleh jawab itu. Okay, so these are designed to help you lah. Okay, actually. Okay, I really think that I don't have any more. Ada lagi satu, sorry, this one. Okay, so this one also quite a lot of people have answered, and they seem to have tried to answer, but always cannot get this correct lah. Okay, so this one. So diagram 7 shows the function of ht equals to negative 4t plus 32t. Okay, so this is the function. As shown in the diagram, the side represents the height in 30 seconds after the launch. Okay, point A is origin. Okay, origin is 0, 0. Okay, and the fireworks exploded at the highest point. Now, highest point means this is the maximum. Okay, this is the maximum point. Now, if t is 0, 0, okay, if t is 0, 0, I can, you know that if this goes up, then it will come down and it will hit the other point over here. Okay, so think about it now. So I want to know what is the height now. Maybe I want to know what is the y coordinate of this. But in order for me to know what's the y coordinate, I need to know what is the x coordinate of this. But how do I find the x coordinate? I need to know what is this coordinate. Okay, so one way you can do it is you can set it that, okay, ht equals to 0. Okay, because at these 2 points, there is no y coordinate. At this point over here and this point over here, there is no y coordinate. So ht equals to 0. Therefore, negative, oh no, here it is happening again. Oh, ada. Okay, so negative 4t squared plus 32t equals to 0. If I factorize it out, this will be negative 4t plus 32 equals to 0. So t equals to 8. Okay, so here is 8. Now, if one side is 0, the other side is 8, the maximum point is always in the center, which is 4. Okay, so that means the coordinate, the x coordinate of maximum height, okay, is 4. Sebab antara kosong, those of you who are under me, you know this. I always like to use the 2 ears. So this is 1 point, this is 1 point. The maximum is over here, right in the center. So dia sama jarak. Okay, unless your face is distorted or something happened to your face, you should be equally symmetry. 0, 8, so center is 4. Okay, so if this is 4, then I know that t equals to 4. Okay, so when t equals to 4, ht equals to negative 4 times 4 plus 32 times 4. This will give me 64. Okay, and that will be my final answer. The height, the maximum height is 64. So this is actually a quadratic function question which they kasih k-but. Okay, they k-butted this question because you know, it's very mainstream now. Quadratic functions questions are actually pretty mainstream. Okay, so they kasih k-but now by doing this. But once you understand, once you understand that, you can actually factorize the quadratic function to find the two roots. And when we learn this in theory, this is a root, and this is also a root. Okay, and the root only happens, okay, when y equals to 0. When y equals to 0, then you can find the roots. Okay, and in between the two roots, okay, is always the maximum or the minimum point. This is a very standard thing. Okay, so get used to this. Okay, okay, I really think this is the last one from paper 1. Okay, question number 1. Yeah, the others are because the rest of it is, yeah, this is all pretty simple. So I'm not going to cover this. Okay, so let's take a 5-minute break. Okay, let's take a 5-minute break. I need to go and do something, and then when we come back, we will do paper 2. Okay, we'll do paper 2. All right, everyone, welcome back. Let's take a look at paper 2 in our Temerloh paper, and we find again, like in the Batu Pahat paper, that the HOTS questions tend to come from section A. Okay, banyak soalan section A yang HOTS questions. So, and because the other questions at section B, section C seem to be pretty standard, except for maybe vector and coordinate geometry lah. Okay, and maybe circular measure. Okay, but we find that a lot of HOTS questions are actually in section A. Okay, so you know when you finish with the section B and section C, be careful when you go into section A, especially simultaneous equations. Okay, so let's take a look at this question 4. A cylindrical wedding cake, which consists of different sizes, has a fixed height of 7 cm. So that means the height of the cake is 7 cm, but the cake has different sizes and placed one on top of the other. So given that the circumference of the topmost cake, okay, circumference is lilitan. Lilitan is 2 pi r. Okay, so we find that the topmost cake, paling atas, which I don't know is number what lah. Okay, it can be a 10-layer cake, it can be a 20-layer cake, I don't know. But we know that the topmost cake, the circumference is 18 pi. And this gives us another very important information, because if 2 pi r equals to 18 pi, R equals to 9 cm. Sorry. So which means that the topmost cake, the R, okay, the height, the radius of the cake is actually 9 cm. Okay. Wow, 9 cm for topmost cake is very big. Okay, so the radius of each subsequent cake is increased by 3 centimeters from the top of it. Okay, now the volume of the bottommost cake. Okay, so volume, and since each cake is cylindrical, okay, cylinder is V equals to 1 over 2 pi r squared h. 1 over 2 kah? 1 over 1 over 2 kan? Oh dear. See, this is obviously Monday. Monday, my brain's just not working. Is it 1 over 2 or 1 over 3? 1 over 3. See? See. 1 over 3. 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Okay. Now, this gives us another piece of information, but we don't really know now. Okay, we know that h is always 7. Okay, so we know that from here, since the volume is 3087 pi equals to 1 over 3 pi r squared times 7. Okay, therefore, I can say that the R, okay, for the most bottom cake, okay, the R for the most bottom cake is 3087 times 3 divided by 7 is 1323. Okay, R squared is 1323 lah. Therefore, if I were to square root, oh no, am I getting this wrong? Oh, sorry. Ha ha ha. Ya, saya silap sudah. 3087 pi. Sorry. 3087 times 3 divided by 7. 8. Pi r squared h. Did I count this correctly? Yeah, should be correct. But over here, it says that it's 21. 21. 21 cm is the biggest one. But 21 is actually 441. Ha ha ha, unless I counted this wrongly. The height is 7. The volume of the bottommost cake, volume of cylinder is 1 over 3 pi r squared h. So what is the R? We should be able to count the radius of the last one though. Hold on. 3087. Yeah, correct. When I did this yesterday, oh dear. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pause this for a while because I'm having a brain freeze. Okay, so sorry everyone, I made a mistake just now. This actually should be pi r squared h, okay, and not 1 over 3, because 1 over 3 is cone. I was referring to the just now punya question. Okay, so because of that, okay, so you'll be 3087 divided by 7. I'll get 441, correct. Thank you very much, Chai. So that means R equals to 21. That means the smallest one is 9 and the biggest one is 21. And we know that the radius, dia tambah 3, tambah 3, tambah 3. So we can actually know how many cakes there are. Okay, let's do the this one now. Okay, so we have 9, we have plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18, and plus 3 is 21. So there are 5 cakes altogether. Since the smallest is 9 and the biggest is 21, there are 5 cakes altogether. Each cake is 7 cm. So that means the total height will be 35 cm. Okay, 35 centimeter cake is not that this one lah. Okay. Now, total circumference in centimeter of the wedding cake. That means the first circumference, the second circumference, the third circumference, fourth circumference. You count all the circumferences together, okay, and then you leave your answer in pi. So this one, the answer will be 150 pi. I'm just going to give it the answer, okay, because I think circumference is quite easy, 2 pi r. Okay, you just count each, this one, and you total it up. If you want to do a geometric progression, also no problem. Sorry, if you want to do an arithmetic progression, also no problem. Or you want to count it manually, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, then also can. Okay, but the idea is this, this is a HOTS question, okay, and even I stumbled a little bit because I've totally forgot the formula for cylinder because I thought it was 1 over 3, tapi sebenarnya 1 over 3 is cone. Okay, sorry, my bad. But this is, and actually, if we think about it, it is an easy question. Don't even really need to use progression. You can also count it manually. Okay, and that's sometimes one of the good things about progression questions. Okay, is that you can count it manually as long as you count every single thing manually. Okay, but of course, if it's a geometric progression and you have to count until to the sum of infinity, then don't lah. Okay, sum of infinity is a different story altogether. Okay, but if you have things like arithmetic progression, if your number of terms, kalau bilangan sebutan kamu kan tinggal 4, 5 saja kan, just go ahead. You should be able to count it manually. Okay, diagram 2 shows a plan of 5 terrace houses to be built on the Encik Zulkifli's land. Okay, now this one looks like a simultaneous equations question. Okay, but actually if you look at all the 6 questions kan, memang inilah simultaneous equations, because we know that simultaneous equations questions only come out in paper 2 and usually in section A. So macam mana kau carikan, try to look for the simultaneous equations, because usually dia tidak bagi straight to the point lah. Usually they will give like, in a form of menyelesaikan masalah like this. So the perimeter of the whole 5 houses is 160 meters. And that's our first piece of information. So the perimeter will be 2x, 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 2x times 2. Okay, and then this whole thing, how much is this whole thing? Okay, I'm going to call this y. Yeah, okay, I'm going to call this y. So that means 2y plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20x. Okay, equals to 160. Okay, notice that everything they give is in x lah. So obviously you have to give me the y lah. Okay, so 2y plus 2x equals to, 2y plus 20x equals to 160. That's the first piece of information. Secondly, he allocated an area of 600 meters squared to construct a road. So the area of the road, okay, is 600 meters squared. Okay, so how do we count this? So it will be the whole square, okay, the whole square minus the area of the houses. Yalah, takkanlah you want to count this one bit by bit, right? Okay, so let's consider this. The area of the whole square, okay, the area of the whole square, okay, will be x plus 2x plus 2x plus 2x plus 2x plus 2x plus x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12x. This one will be x plus y. And this side over here will be x plus y. So the area of this is 12x times x plus y. And the area of the houses will be 10xy. Okay, because from here to here is 10. Sorry, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 10x, and then here is 1. So that means 12x times x plus y minus 10xy equals to 600. Okay, and that's our second equation. Okay, so once you have formed the second equation, then you kind of know what to do lah. Do the simultaneous equations thing. Okay, but be very careful of the question. Find the length and the width of each house. Okay, the length is represented by y. Okay, the width is not represented by x now. Look at the width of the house. The width of the house is 2x. Okay, and this is where the trick is. Because we are also used to simultaneous equations kan, asal dapat jawapan x dan y, done. No, okay, the width of the house is 2x. So be very careful of these kind of questions. Okay, if you have to find the length and the width of the house, make sure your final answer is not x equals to this, y equals to this. No, write it out. Length equals to width equals to. Okay, and usually in questions like this, there's only one set of answers. Okay, so according to this, the length is 30 and the width is 10. Okay, because x is 5 and yeah, okay, because you will get x equals to 5 and y equals to 30. But remember, they want the width, so the width has to be 10. Okay, sorry, somebody's mic is on. Oh, okay, so the width has to be 10. Okay, so give this question a try. It's a good question. Okay, and I think that we have answered this question before, like in another year punya paper. Okay, macam, because this looks like a clone question to me. Okay, now this is a very interesting question. Okay, question number 6, also a hot question. Now, diagram 3 shows a circle cross-section of a timber which is floating in the water with a radius of 80. Okay, radius of 80, I'm going to draw the center over here. That means from here to B is 80. From here to C is also 80. From here to A is also 80. Radius is 80. Okay, now line AC is the water surface, okay, and B is the highest point from the water surface, okay, but it's still a circle. Okay. Actually, if you take a look at the diagram, it doesn't look like a circle, right? It looks like an ellipse actually. Okay, like a oval, a circle that kind of flattened, but fine, we assume it's a circle. Okay, now the ratio of the highest point of B to the water surface, from the water surface to the diameter of the circle. Okay, so the diameter is the diameter is 4. It means this whole thing is 4 parts. And this part here is 1 part. Okay, and this gives us a very important information now. Okay, so let's say this is B, this is the diameter of the circle, here is the water surface. If this is 1, the whole thing is 4 parts, so that means this is 3 parts. And I know that from here to B, okay, the whole thing is 160. Correct? The whole thing is 160 because the radius is 80, right? So all 4 parts is 160, which means that this height over here is 40. And this whole thing over here is 100 and... sorry. Apa ini? 160 divided by 4. Yeah, 120, correct? Yeah, 120. Okay, that's a very important piece of information which will help us later. Okay, so how do we find the length of the arc of ABC? This is obviously a sukatan membulat, circular measure question. Okay, if I want to find the length of arc ABC, it will be S equals to R theta. Of course, theta must be in radian lah. Okay, the problem is, how do I find this angle? Okay, how do I find this angle? Now, if you take a look at this diagram, there is actually a triangle over here. Okay, and this is a right angle triangle. Now, if I'm going to draw the triangle over here again, okay, this is the angle I want to find. Okay, if I want to find the whole thing, saya kali dua sajalah. But so if I need to find this small angle, if this is 80, do I know how much is this? I do, because if this whole thing is 120, if this whole thing is 120, and this one is 80, I know that this is 40. It's a very important piece of information. Okay, therefore I can say that apa ini cos theta? Cos theta is actually equals to 40 over 80. Okay, and theta will be theta will be 60 degrees, which translates to how many radians. Okay, never mind. Even if you don't want to do radian, never mind. Okay, theta is 60 degrees. So this is 60 degrees. Okay, over here, okay, over here is 60 degrees. Therefore, the whole thing, this one will be 120 degrees. Okay, and 120 degrees change to radian will be 2.095. Okay, 2.095 radian. Therefore, I can count the length already. The length of the arc of ABC is 80 times 2.095 radian. Okay. So notice that all the information in the question is there. We just have to know how to extract it out. And especially in circle, especially in circle, I find that this use of cos, sine, cos, tangent kan selalu keluar ni. Macam banyak kali sudah dia keluar. Okay, they will give you a chord over here. Yeah, fine. Don't forget this line AC. This is called a chord. Tembereng garis. Sorry, perentas. Okay, so this perentas, this chord, okay, always forms a 90-degree angle to the radius. Therefore, you can do a right angle triangle. You can use sine, cos, tangent. Okay, so yeah, so get used to these kind of things, especially in circles. Okay, the area of the cross section below the water surface, which means this, I'm running out of colors already. Sorry. Okay, fine. Which means this yellow part. Oh dear, I don't even know. Okay, so this is pretty easy lah. The whole circle, the area of the circle. Okay, in order for you to count the area of this one, is the area of circle, okay, minus the area of segment. Okay. Now, how to count the area of segment? Please go and check. Okay, there are notes on this. I'm just going to give you the final answer. So the final answer will be 16176. Okay, that's the final answer. Okay, how to count the area? Oh, sorry. Yeah, 16176. Okay, so how to count the area of segment? Please go and look it up. Okay, it's 1/2 r squared theta minus sine theta. Okay, but this one is in radian, this one is in degrees. Okay, and since the angle okay, is 120 degrees, so it's actually not really much of a problem. So the big area of the circle minus the area of the segment, okay, the segment is the thing that is above the water, okay, you will get the whole area that is yellow. Okay, so please go and check it out. So again, the reason why I wanted to answer this question is because if you are good in circular measure, then it is a simple question. Okay, actually this question is simple. It is just that all the information is given in this paragraph, and you have to slowly dissect out all the information. Itu saja yang susah lah sebenarnya. Okay. All right. The next question I want to do is the solution of triangles question, because every other question in this paper is actually not that difficult. So I want to do the solution of triangles question because it is a 3D question. Okay, so we rarely see 3D questions actually. Jarang kita jumpa ni soalan 3 dimensi. Dalam solution of triangle. Okay, but it's always a good idea lah. Okay, to check out 3D questions. Now, the problem with 3D questions is that if you draw everything on the diagram, okay, there is a very big chance that you will get it wrong. Okay, for example, this lah. So diagram 6 shows a tetrahedron. Okay, ABCD. Okay, such that BAC is 64. BAC, here, this angle is 64. Okay, and then ACD, which is this angle, okay, this is 35. Okay, and then BDC, which is this angle, okay, is 104. Okay, and then AB is 8 cm. Okay, and then BD is 15 cm. And you're given no other information about this. Okay, now BD 15 cm doesn't mean that BC is 15 cm. Okay, and notice, take a look at where the point of confusion can be. Okay, this D angle, the 104 angle over there. Okay, the 104 angle kan, kalau kamu tidak perhatikan dengan betul-betul, actually it is not ADC, it is BDC. Okay, it's BDC, not ADC. But if you take a look at it now from your two-dimensional point of view, it looks like it's the angle of ADC. Okay, so always a good idea is to break apart, kasih rentangkan this one. Okay, so when you break it apart, okay, you will get three different triangles. Okay, so I'm going to put ADC at the bottom. ADC over here at the bottom. Okay, and then the ABC, the ABC yang berdiri, sorry, ABD, so ABD and the ABC, I'm going to open it up apart. So I'm going to put ACD over here. Okay, then I'm going to here. Okay, this is ABC, and then AD, and then I'm going to bring down the B, the other side of the B across. Something like this. Okay. Yeah, I know it's the same point, but no choice lah, because it's only 4 points in this whole thing. Okay. Now we put in the information. So AB is 8. ABC is 64 degrees. 64 degrees. Okay. ACD, this is 35 degrees. Okay. And BDC, this whole thing, okay, yeah, it's 104, correct. Okay, BDC. Oh, no. You know what? This is not a good idea. Okay. You know what? Let's try this again. Let me draw 3 separate triangles now. I think if I were to combine them together, it would be more confusing. Okay, I'm going to start the right angle triangle. So ABC is the easiest of them all. Okay, so this is A, this is B, this is C. This is the right angle. This is 8 centimeters. And you're given that BAC, this is 64. Okay, so that's the first piece of information. Second one is BDC. So BDC is like this. BDC, you are given that BD is 15 and BDC is 104. So this is 104 degrees. Okay, and then the third one is the one that is on the ground. Okay, so like ACD. Okay, ACD, and you are given the ACD, the angle is 35 degrees. You are not given anything else. AB is 8. Itu saja. Okay. So the question is, how do you find, sorry, you're given that the area of the triangle of BCD, okay, which is this triangle. This one is 29 centimeters squared. Okay. Can I find the length of CD? Can, because the area of triangle is area equals to half times 15 times CD times sine 104. Okay, half AB sine C. So you have 15 and this one is 104. As long as the angle in between. So this is equals to 29. So 29 equals to 15 times 15 times sine 104. Which is 7.2772. 7.2772 CD. So CD will be equals to the 3.985, about that. 3.985 cm. 3.985. Let me just double check. Yeah, 3.985 cm. Okay. Now, if this is 3.985, okay, translate it into all triangles. So CD over here is also 3.985. This first triangle tiada kaitan lah. Okay. Now, the next one is the length of AD. Okay? The length of AD, which is here, which is found over here. This length over here. Is there any other information that I'm missing? Oh yeah, I am missing a bit of information. Okay, let's take a look slowly. So first of all, if I want to find AD, I need to find probably what is AC lah. Okay, so that's the big problem. So since I don't know what is AC, I look to the first triangle, okay, which is this triangle, because I can use this 64 degrees to find AC, since AC is a hypotenuse. So cos 64 equals to 8 over AC. Okay, therefore AC equals to 8 over cos 64, which is 18.249. Okay, if this is 18.249, then I can count AD using the cos rule. Okay, guys, just give me a minute. I need to answer a phone call. Okay, so we found AC. Okay, and AC, once you find AC on this triangle of ABC, okay, this one, okay, then you find AC over here, then you can find the length of AD by using the cos rule. Okay, since you have both the sides and the angle, so you can find the length of AD lah. Okay, should we answer that? Oh, okay lah. So AD, oh no, once again. Okay, sorry. So AD squared equals to 18.249 squared plus 3.985 squared minus 2, 18.249, 3.985 cos 35. Okay. Then you will be able to get the answer, which is 14.07. So AD is 14.07. Okay, yeah. AD is 14.07. Then you can find the angle of CAD. This one you can use sine rule. Okay, 14.07 divided by sine 35, and then 3.985 divided by this angle. Okay, so the thing about the three-dimensional diagrams is this. It's always a good idea to break it up into three separate triangles. But just remember that the places where they overlap, okay, the places where they overlap, you may have to put all the information there at the same time. Okay, just like just now, once we found out what is DC, when I found out what DC was, I put it over here, and then I put it over here again. Okay, because both these triangles got D and C. Okay, so that's the thing about 3D triangles. So 3D triangles are good. It's just three different triangles, but they are all connected somehow. Okay, now point C prime lies on AC such that, okay, so we're looking at this one again, ADC. Okay, so I'm going to draw the original ADC first. Okay, so the ADC, so ugly. ADC. Okay, so A over here, D over here, C over here. Oh, sorry, D is down here. D. Yeah. So D is down here. C is up there. Apa lagi? DC is 3.985. AC is 18.249. Okay, and apa lagi? 14.07. Here is 14.07. This angle ACD is 35. Okay, so point C prime lies on AC. So that means this is the one that I have to change. DC yang saya kena kekal. Okay, so this is the important one. If DC yang saya kena kekal, that means DC is the isosceles triangle. Dia punya kaki. Okay, it means if over here is DC, the only other way is this way. I'm going to use a different color. Okay, the only other way is for the DC to be here, this C prime. And this is the length, same length, 3.985. This is the same angle, 35 degrees. Okay. So this information, DC prime equals to DC is very important. It tells us that DC is the segitiga sama kaki punya kaki. Okay, so sketch the triangle of ADC prime. Okay, I can just add one line onto the original ADC, and this will be this one over here. Okay, now then after that you find the length of AC prime. Cari panjang ini. Okay, can that be found? It can be found. Okay, there are a couple of ways to do it lah. You have this angle. Okay, you have this angle. You can find this angle. Okay, once you find this angle, then you find this angle. Sorry, okay, so this is A, C prime, this is D. This is 14.07. Here is 3.985. So I will know what this angle is. This angle is 155. Okay, so there are many ways to do this. One way is you want to find this length, bahkan. You want to find this length. Okay. So one way would be you find this angle first. After you find this angle, then you find this angle, and then you use the sine rule, okay, to find that angle. Okay, so ada banyak cara lah sebenarnya. I'm just showing you one way lah. Okay, use the sine rule 2 kali. Okay, find this angle. After you find this angle, then this angle, and then use this angle to find this side. Okay. All right, so give this a try. Let me just give you the answer. Let me see. The answer is 10.62. Okay, 10.62 cm. Yeah. Did I give you the answer for CAD? Oh, sorry. CAD, yeah. CAD is 9.349, okay, degrees. 9.349 degrees. Sorry, 9.349 over here. And AC is 10.62 cm. Okay. All right, I think that's it. That's all that I actually want to discuss today. I just wonder if you guys have any questions that you want me to cover from the Temerloh papers. Anyone? Anyone? Any questions from the Temerloh papers that you want me to cover that I haven't covered? Or maybe I skip. Yeah, so as I mentioned just now, if you guys have actually answered the paper and you want me to check, so actually some of the people who are not in this Zoom call, so some of the other students, what they do is they will try it on their own, and then they will send their answers to me, and then what I will do is I will mark them. Okay, I will mark, and then I will give back the paper to them with the correct answer. If they got that question wrong, then I will just give the answer over there, and then nanti kamu cuba cari sendirilah itu answer. I don't usually give out marking scheme. Okay, I don't know about the other teachers, but I think that for your benefit, I don't give out marking scheme because I want you to try it on your own. Okay, get used to working without the marking scheme, because when you sit for the SPM, I don't want this to be a habit. Like kalau tiada marking scheme kan kamu akan mati. Jangan macam tu. Okay, get used to working with the marking scheme, but send me your answers so that I can help you to check. Okay, I think that is a more productive way to work lah. Okay, because kalau kamu ada marking scheme kan, it tends to become a tongkat, and then you always look at the marking scheme for the answer, and then you don't actually know whether the marking scheme is actually correct. Okay, as we have proven just now. Okay, any other questions? Anything that you want me to ask? If not, I will pause the recording, okay, for today.